was a way to show respect to the audience and respect your own business. It was a way to protect it.
I am Mr. Richie Moon, and I'm Kayfabe Avenue, and I'm Kayfabe Focus.
It's Kayfabe Avenue.
Ladies and gentlemen, heels and faces, casual wrestling fans, and all you smart marks, I am Mr. Richie Moon.
And I'm Kayfabe AJ.
And this is Kayfabe Avenue, and this is This Week in Wrestling.
It's actually This Week in Wrestling.
Indeed.
We can officially bring back one of our old episodes.
Yeah,
so,
man.
NXT for the first time moved to Tuesday night on USA.
Super Tuesday.
Yeah. The original plan behind that was because, NFL or NHL?
NHL. Yeah, NHL has
Did
a
that even
playoff.
happen? I didn't see that on USA.
What'd you say?
I didn't even see the NHL on USA.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was an excuse. They were giving the Rock's movie San Andreas. That's what they were giving.
Wow.
I don't know if that was their little excuse to, kind of end this Wednesday night war situation.
Yeah, we'll definitely. We're gonna touch on that. We're definitely gonna touch on that. But let's start at Monday Night Raw. So this is the fallout from Payback. Pay per view that they did a week after SummerSlam,
which I will give them credit for. It was actually a decent pay per view, and in a week they actually build enough that the matches actually were dope.
Yeah, it was.
I enjoyed it.
Some of the matches felt like Raw 2.0, but some when Roman Reigns came out, he turned that place up. But we'll get to Mr. Roman soon. But Retribution is only on Raw now, which is meh.
I mean, you're booking them as this outlaw group that
breaks windows and scribbles on walls.
And is just destroying shit. But you're gonna relegate them to the show, so they actually do have rules. Then you can't go to SmackDown.
Yeah,
it kind of killed the storyline. They should have been revealed before they got relegated to a show.
Yeah, something.
That's a big miss on their part.
Yeah, I feel like they've already missed. They've already kind of botched Retribution already. But from one of the fallouts from Payback is Rey Mysterio was injured. It's nothing.
He had like a separated shoulder or something, or
but it's nothing. He doesn't have to get a surgery on it. He just has to let it. He has to just kind of let it naturally heal. So he'll be out for a couple of weeks, but at least he doesn't have to get surgery.
I mean, for the most part, they're pushing Dominic, and Dominic's been doing pretty good.
Yeah, Dominic's
his first match, he showed a little green spots. He finally remedied the hoodie, which was a big complaint.
Yes. He looked uncomfortable. So if it's uncomfortable for you, then it's definitely going to be uncomfortable for us. So I'm glad that they remedied the hoodie, and he actually picked up the victory on Raw. So this is Dominic's.
Did he?
No.
Seth Rollins.
Do you?
No, Seth Rollins won that. He picked up the victory last week in the tag team match with him and Rey Mysterio. Then they won at Payback.
Okay.
No. Actually, they won at Payback. I'm sorry.
They won at Payback.
They won at Payback. He got the win there on Payback, but on Raw,
he lost
with Rey Mysterio's injury. He took Rey's spot in the match to qualify for the number one contendership. So what they did was they had 3 series of matches. The winners of those matches moved on to the triple threat. Winner of the triple threat goes on to face Drew McIntyre.
Nice.
So he had a good showing in there, but Seth Rollins had to stomp him out.
Yeah, Seth Rollins. Oh yeah, and then because the main event was Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, and Keith Lee. Yes. Indeed. But before we get to the main event, man, no more Iconics, man. You gotta be joking me.
Yeah,
you gotta be joking me. So there was a match with the newly formed Riot Squad with Ruby and Liv versus the Iconics, and the stipulation was whoever wins disbands, and the Iconics lost. Now the real life story behind it is that they want to give Peyton Royce a push. They want to give her a singles push. I feel like they
Stupid.
could have done that and just still kept Billie Kay in her corner, which would
Exactly.
be she's gonna be a heel, so she could be the manager and interfere in her matches, and so Peyton can get over, you know. So I feel like they didn't need to disband the Iconics. They're real life best
I mean,
friends.
the only way it makes sense is if they also see something in Billie Kay and they decide to let her have her own route too, and let her contend for titles or whatever it is too.
Well, Billie Kay has her own
That'd be the
YouTube show.
only sense. That'd be the only sense it would make, honestly.
I think they should kept Billie Kay with Peyton Roy. Just have her as her manager. Billie Kay has her own YouTube show, and she's like, I haven't really seen it, but Billie Kay is just funny anyway. She's just funny anyway. So like,
I
whatever.
feel like
We'll see how it turns
you
out.
have these women's tag team titles.
Mhm.
You finally add a new team, well, a returning team in the Riot Squad.
Mhm.
You're finally bulking up your tag team division, only to split tag teams this week. It's
Yeah.
like we can't have multiple tag teams. So you know what? Let's eliminate these two tag teams and let's put Nia Jax with Shayna Baszler, and then let's eliminate the Iconics and let's put um the Riot Squad back. It's stupid.
I don't
Build your
understand.
division. You build the tag team division. The tag team allows the weaker people to get stronger in the ring, and then you can see who's the highlight of the tag team divisions that could eventually get pushes. This is how it worked for the men. The Edges, the Christians, the Hardys, like the tag teams in the Attitude Era, well, a big staple of the WWF. Half of the people who were in tag teams back then became world champions down the line.
Yeah.
Why the fuck can't they just do the same thing for the women? Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think they needed. They didn't really need to break up the Iconics.
They did.
You could have still given Peyton Royce. It would have actually been better if Billie Kay is by her side. That would have added to her act more. But you know, it is. You know what? I'll actually admit this. In some aspects, WWE has kind of gained some of my trust back with some things. So I am willing to let it play out and see how it works. But I don't.
They haven't gained
We'll
any.
see. We'll see.
They haven't gained any trust back from me for the simple fact that the only reason I feel like they're changing things up because they're forced to.
Yeah.
They're in a situation where COVID-19. I am not even gonna blame COVID-19. Their ratings were in the decline before COVID-19. COVID-19 just
didn't help
exposed
anything.
them. Yeah, it just exposed them a little further, and they've been in ratings decline. So they're forced to change with stars either refusing or not able to wrestle for them, come to Florida or whatever it is, or their roster's kind of depleted. The Daniel Bryans, the Roman Reigns, most of them stood home for most of the COVID-19.
Yeah.
The returning Sami Zayn, he was out for most of COVID. So they're forced to be in a situation where they're trying new things. I'm not really gonna give them all that credit yet. They really have a long way to build my trust. And then outside of in the ring, the business side of WWE doesn't push any more trust. They have this new situation where Vince is talking about you have a month to cancel any outside deals you have that use your likeness or whatever the case may be. Like you're cutting people's outside money. Like
Yeah, that's not
you're
that's not
firing,
cool.
and the risk is firing. Now, if I was these people in WWE, I'd let him fire me. You're gonna fire me because I got a Cameo account? You're gonna fire me because I have something else? Go ahead. That'll be my out. I'll go to AEW. I'll go to Impact or wherever, New Japan, whatever it is.
But also you have you have a politician, Andrew Yang, who is challenging Vince McMahon on his business practices because technically, all the WWE superstars are independent contractors. Being an independent contractor, as I am in real life, you shouldn't even honestly the way they run. I don't even understand how that title independent contractor is put on them when they do not operate like independent contractors at all. So many things they can't do. That's not an independent contractor.
Because that's the business savvy way of saying, I'm gonna own all your shit, but I'm not responsible for you.
Yeah, so I don't. That's
Like, let's be real. I'm an independent contractor, but if I get a DUI or I get caught smoking weed, I lose all my sponsorships and
I
all
don't
that.
understand how you're an independent contractor, but you have to ask them to like do movies and stuff like that, and they only want you to really do movies in the WWE studio. Like that's, I don't know. Honestly, that's a whole other pot. That's like a whole podcast in itself that we can really do with the WWE. We actually
But
probably
as
should.
far as like we say that to say, I say all that to say this: the trust, as far as WWE goes, got a long way. Got a long way.
They made a big move, which we'll get to in a little bit, which reason why they put a little bit of trust in me. But let's move on. Let's move on to Tuesday night, Super Tuesday, which I'm hoping this is going to stay a permanent thing. I think this is better for the wrestling fans. This is better for the wrestling business to have AEW on Wednesdays and have NXT on Tuesdays. Both of them have AEW's kind of did the same numbers.
NXT pulled 900,000 viewers.
If you combine with the replay they did on Sci-Fi, they did 1 million in views all together. It's better for business wise to have NXT on Tuesdays. It just separated. We all know why Vince made NXT Live on Wednesdays. We all know why it happened.
Of course, he tried to stamp them out before they had to start, and
it backfired.
You can't. The thing is, you can't stamp something out that the fans helped create.
Yeah.
AEW wouldn't exist if the fans weren't, involved. Pretty much.
Exactly. This is a fans-based organization.
Not only that, they exposed them during COVID.
Yeah.
AEW continues to expose them on business practice, on creativity, on how they handle issues as far as like world issues. People got fired, suspended.
Yeah.
WWE still hanging on to people that the fans and even in the crowds or on the screens now in the Thunderdome. They fire people.
Things. Now here's the thing. I'm not sitting here defending Excalibur at all. At all. I'm not condoning what he says at all. Especially, me. I'm super pro-black. But here the thing is, that was part of a story. I was part of a wrestling storyline that the black dude and all them, they all agreed to it.
Yep.
Is it cool? No, but they all agree to it. So it's not cute.
He should definitely take sensitivity training like Sammy did.
Yeah,
that should have been.
He just came back.
So it is what it is. Some people should have better taste in wrestling. And as far as business practices go, AEW's top notch, and WWE's move to try to stomp them out is not going to happen. It's not going to happen anytime soon.
Like I said, it backfired on it because in January they got that 3-year extension.
But I'd rather them not compete, God on the truth, because it's actually a breath of fresh air that I don't have to say, damn, I got to choose between shows today. And then not only us as podcasters, it gives us more flexibility on being able to cover these topics.
Yeah.
We can spread them out during the day. We can actually probably get an episode out every day. We're not in crush time on Wednesdays to put something out. So it benefits everybody. Honestly, it benefits podcasters. It benefits just viewers who want to soak in everything. Who it didn't benefit this week was Impact Wrestling.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry, Impact fans. Sorry, Impact fans. But it's a better flow, dude.
People didn't even think about the move NXT going to Tuesday with Impact.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of those are kind of the casualties of war. Impact's kind of feeling the casualties of war. But sorry, Impact. I hear Impact's doing good things. I chime in from time to time.
If you think Eric Young being the TNA heavyweight champion is good things, no offense to Eric Young, but bro, his stock fell so much in WWE.
Yeah, it did.
The nostalgia of an Impact, especially for casual viewers coming off of, that's the dude who was Insanity. Bro, You gotta
And then for you to
rebuild
be
them.
champion in 3 weeks, like
You gotta rebuild.
barely
How
build.
EC3 isn't champion right now? If
Yeah,
that's
I don't know. I don't really know enough about Impact. Like I said, I turn it from time to time. Not enough to really.
it hurt Impact's viewings, which is not surprising. But as far as NXT goes, good show, good street fight. Breezango was involved in, which I'm actually happy they got the tag team titles now. Hopefully they can get healthy.
And Isaiah's first squad.
Dirty
Dango.
But the highlight, undeniably, of NXT was the Iron Man match between Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole, and Finn Balor. So going into this match, I was saying, the background behind this match was Karrion Kross beat Keith Lee for the championship. Keith Lee obviously got called up to Monday Night Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Which actually we didn't even mention. Randy Orton became the number one contender in that triple threat, right? I don't think we touched on that.
No, we did.
So Keith Lee got called up. Karrion Kross got injured in that match. So the very next night on NXT, he had to drop the title. So this was a fatal four-way Iron Man match for the championship, actually.
Yeah.
Going into this, I said straight up, Adam Cole, being the longest reigning champion, just dropped it not too long ago. He should not be champion. Tommaso Ciampa, he had a long-ass reign. He had a long-ass battle against Gargano. He never lost the title. You're right. But I don't think it's time for him. I think that could come down the line. He's been in the spotlight of the title as long as he's been around, damn near for the past 2-3 years. Gargano just dropped it recently. He's new in his heel run. I think it should go to Finn Balor.
Of course it should.
Like, Finn has been beating everybody. He only got, 2 losses since he joined NXT.
None of them clean either. He's never lost clean.
He's the smart choice to be NXT champion.
Yeah, he should be. Balor's a man.
They end up with a draw finish.
Yeah.
Adam Cole and Finn Balor.
But hold on. But man, that match itself was just it was a really, really good match. I mean, back and forth. Finn Balor honestly took a lot of that match. He dominated a lot of that match, and just a testament to go a full hour. It was just awesome. Finn Balor had it like the last 12 seconds. Finn Balor hit a coup de grace on Tommaso Ciampa. Adam Cole comes with the last shot, pins Finn Balor, and you know what I'm saying, that's what led to what AJ said. What led to the draw.
The way they set it up, though, like in general, they had everybody get a pinfall.
Mm-hmm.
The only person in the match who didn't get pinned at all was Tommaso Ciampa.
Now he got pinned at the end by Finn.
No, he didn't get pinned.
Yeah, he got pinned at the end. He hit the move on Johnny Gargano. He was flat on the floor. Then Finn came right after immediately. Boom, coup de grace.
I have the scorecard from it the other day.
Yeah, Tommaso Ciampa. He hit that move, like he puts like your head under. He hit that on Johnny Gargano. Boom. As soon as he moves, Finn Balor came. Coup de grace. Pinned him, and then he pinned him. Then Finn Balor was celebrating because there was only like 10 seconds left. Then Adam Cole came out of nowhere. Boom, last shot. Boom, pinned him. And that's what made Adam Cole and Finn Balor tied for 2-2. I really like the way they ended that match. Some people had a problem because it was an hour match, but it ended in a draw. It's just, I don't mind it ending like that because the way they set it up, like, you dead serious thought that Finn Balor was about to win, and then out of nowhere, Adam Cole came within literally. He got the 3 on Finn Balor with like 2 seconds left in an hour-long match. Like, that match was fire. Like, top down, finishes, everything. Like, they booked that match. Whoever was the agent for that match, kudos to that. Kudos to them. Probably Shawn Michaels has something to do with it, since him and Brett put on one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, you're right. He did cover Ciampa last.
Right right at the end. Everything happens. Everything happens. Boom, 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 boom,
Yeah,
boom.
I thought he stood clear of the
Almost.
but he did come off strong as hell though.
Yeah.
So
Everybody came off strong.
I think after Adam Cole and Finn Balor solved this, I think storyline wise, that's probably the better match for the championship.
Yeah.
Got Bullet Club. You know, they got that old.
Yeah, they even too sweeted. They even too sweeted.
So,
and there's rumors that AJ Styles says that he'll come down to NXT to team with Finn Balor.
He needs to. I think honestly, after
That's the only thing he hasn't done.
Whatever they decide to do with AJ Styles on SmackDown, I think NXT is probably his next best choice.
He should.
He can elevate NXT.
He should.
Even more. And I feel like now in a point where they just took Keith Lee, they just lost Karrion Kross to injury. They've kind of been a little bit depleted on their roster a bit.
AJ Styles would be a good addition, especially if he stays down there for a while. Him and Finn Balor versus Adam Cole and the Undisputed. Yeah, you know, who knows? Because Finn Balor was so bad that the fans started. They turned him face. The fans turned him face, like quietly, because he came out there as a heel, but he was so cool that I was just like, we can't boo him. Like he's mad cool. Like
yeah. But I think NXT is about to lose a lot more people too, because what people are guessing is Retribution are NXT members.
Yeah.
They're assuming is Mia Yim, Dominic Dijakovic involved. Those are the two big names that Retribution. Yeah. I mean, so AJ Styles going down, that'd be dope. But yeah, we got Will and Regal coming out at the end of this match, pretty much saying they're gonna have a match next week on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the excuse is this week.
I mean, here's another tidbit.
Next week too.
Here's another tidbit with that. The USA Network said to WWE, "You guys should move to Tuesdays because you know you're getting beat in a ratings. Like it's not like you back and forth. No, like out of like 44."
Well,
back and forth.
Let's be honest. We used to keep score. We had the Wednesday Night War. We used to keep score. It got to the point where it was sad, and it was like, we're gonna keep the show up just to really pat AEW's on the back because week in, week out, they were beating them in almost every category, except maybe match quality.
Yeah,
like that was really the only point that they were really winning. But other than out of 5 categories we had, week in, week out, we had to change the ratings, take the rating category out because every week they were getting blown out in the ratings.
Yeah. Well,
so I think they won maybe 4 times in this whole time. And
they won like 5. They won like 5 times. But this is like 5 out of like 40 though. So like that's not a good number at all.
No,
so.
not at all.
Yeah, so it's better for business.
Like 10%.
Yeah, they even did a bigger number. They did like 900,000 on Tuesday. They need to just stay on Tuesdays. And like I said, USA was saying to WWE, you should move to Tuesdays. WWE wasn't being too receptive of it. Now it seems like they're coming along more. They had to force it with the NHL playoff. So hopefully that we'll see NXT on Tuesdays from now on. But we'll see.
Yeah, I hope that's the case going forward. It's easier for everybody. We'll get to appreciate everything on a better level, Indeed. So good match. Go out your way to see it. We're gonna see the championship match, Adam Cole versus Finn Balor next week. Let's move on to Wednesday.
Yeah, and I think before we move to Wednesday, we should probably should we have a word from our sponsors?
Yeah, let's have a word from our sponsors real quick.
Yeah, let's have a word from the sponsors, and we're back with AEW, SmackDown, and a little bit of it all out. And we are back. Thank you once again, Anchor. So as we were getting into a little bit of the Wednesday Night Dynamite, it was a go-home show to All Out. It was all right. And usually that's not the way I feel about Dynamite. But yeah, it was all right. It was an all right show. I feel like the storylines that were hitting were really, really hitting. And the ones that weren't, it really showed. It really
I mean,
showed.
to be honest, I would pre-COVID, I would have thought All Out would have been a completely different card.
Yeah.
I thought we were getting Jericho Moxley 2, the rematch we never got.
He still has that rematch in the pocket, yo.
That's what I'm saying. I thought we would have saw that by now instead of him and MJF, which I don't think MJF is in any position ready to be champion.
But the thing is, kudos to AEW booking. MJF might win. He might win, yo. I don't want him to, but like the way they've set it up, that's the interesting one thing I will say.
If they make him win, I hope it's to have the cleaner sweep that shit up and take it away from him.
That's the thing that's looming. Like I feel like what I was thinking. That's interesting that you said Moxley and Jericho 2. I was thinking Moxley Omega 2. But technically it will be one. Technically, it will be one because remember the first one was actually an unsanctioned match. So the first one does not actually on the record book. So, oh shit, technical difficulties. How the hell I should pop out the clip, yo? I'm back.
Gravity.
All right, I'm back. But yeah, technically. But anyway, let's get on to Wednesday Night Dynamite. I feel like the best storyline that's been going on in wrestling for months has been, in its transition, has been the Hangman, Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, FTR that's kind of newly been cycled in. But I feel like the way it's going with this storyline is just like I said, the storylines that were firing on all cylinders, they were firing. Like this storyline, this is interesting. This is the first time that Kenny Omega has come out and has done an in-person interview on Dynamite. This is the first time he's done that. Yes, this is the first time. Everything's been backstage.
Honestly, I think this was kind of my favorite part of Dynamite to me because, like you said, this has been the best storyline on the show. I definitely agree with that because it has so many spinning plates in the storyline. Like, will Kenny turn? Will Hangman turn? Is Hangman a part of FTR? Is FTR the ones that's stirring the pot?
Young Bucks are still in the storyline because Hangman stopped the Young Bucks from getting into them.
And the Young Bucks have been showing heel characteristics on Dynamite too.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like there's about to be. Everybody's turning. You know what I'm saying? Like the cleaner that they've been showing on BTE, like the cleaner. And I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna keep saying this every single week. At this point, AEW. If we gave this show ups and downs like Simon Miller, I would have to give this a down. AEW, at this point, you have to incorporate BTE. You have to take 2 minutes out of Dynamite and recap BTE because it's becoming too important to the mainline continuity of Dynamite. Because when Kenny turned into the cleaner, for the casual fan who is not watching BTE.
He's been transitioning into the cleaner the whole time.
Yeah, like it's not gonna come out of nowhere because he's been showing signs of it. But like if you watch BTE, you'll see like, okay, this has really been bubbling under the surface, as opposed to Dynamite, where you see it here and there. It's just kind of here and there. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So like Dynamite, you gotta recap BT. Like it's a must. It's those universes are too intertwined for you not to.
You know me, I've been championing for that since the beginning.
2 minutes, man. 2 minutes.
That's been my most annoying factor of AEW is you got this great web show that hundreds of thousands of people are watching. That's your funniest shit. That's your best promo work is on BT, and you don't even reference it half the time.
They'll say like like it's on they'll like Tony Schiavone always puts it over like Mondays BTE, but like no, there needs to be a 2-minute segment. During their ad breaks, during their split, yo, you gotta do something. Nah, you gotta do something.
Nah, not during the ad breaks. Just like every episode of a show, a quick rundown of what happened, little funny segments, the big promo moments, and recap Dynamite. Boom. That's it. You could just put a little segment in the middle of the show, very middle of the show.
Yeah.
Recap BTE, or right before a segment that's going to be relevant to what happened in BTE.
Exactly. Yep. Do like a minute. Just do all the important parts that we need to see, because that stuff is great.
Split screen during their entrances. Like little video feed during their entrance and show what happened on BTE.
Yeah, that's important. We're going to keep saying that every single week, AEW. We know you're watching, so we're going to keep saying. But yeah, the Dark Order is looking really strong.
They were all over. They were all over Dynamite and Dark. Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like this match they're having coming up, I feel like this match is set up just to make them even look stronger. With it's going to be Scorpio Sky, Dustin, QT Marshall, and Matt Cardona versus Brody Lee.
I'm almost upset that Scorpio Sky got looped into this story, though.
Yeah, but I think this is also the set. I feel like we're going to
out of place.
I feel like we're going to get a one-on-one with Scorpio Sky and Mr. Brody Lee. I feel like that's going to eventually happen. But I feel you on that. I want to see Scorpio Sky do. I really want to see Scorpio Sky turn heel, to be honest with you. But AEW seems like they have so many people turning heel. I don't want, there has to be a balance of.
Yeah, they're definitely oversaturated with heels.
Yeah,
because even he's not a heel, but he's a tweener.
Yeah, I feel like Kenny would probably be a tweener though, because they got to keep a balance of power.
Nah, I think Kenny needs to go full on
heel.
Full on heel. The cleaner is gonna work when he don't give a shit.
Yeah, cleaner, he's the best. Heel Kenny Omega is the best Kenny Omega. Man.
I can imagine the V triggers to the people who oppose him during them times.
Ooh, they get nasty in his heel.
Kenny's been given great matches. Obviously, he's one of the best. But the intensity and like the badassery of his matches have been missing since he can't fully focus on being a good guy in the AEW.
It comes out here. It only comes out here and there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
they gotta. Yeah, he's not the same. He doesn't. I know what you mean. It's not the same intensity. He used to kill people. Oh,
kill people with his V triggers. Like, I was like a highlight.
Word. V trigger.
Top 5 V triggers. Yo.
Word. Top 5 V triggers.
Even when he used to fight his own friends, when he used to fight the Bucks, he V triggered the shit out the Bucks.
Killed them. But not Revolution. Not Revolution. They killed each other. Revolution. They killed each other. They didn't hold back.
I think Revolution is the real big pay-per-view for them at this point.
Yeah. I mean, it was their big. Yeah, I think
All Out was that for them, but I feel like in comparison to the last All Out,
I think Double or Nothing. I think Double or Nothing is their. I think Double or Nothing is their WrestleMania. And speaking of that, the segue a little bit from Dynamite a little bit. Tony Khan did a backstage with Inside the Ropes, and he said, he feels that Double or Nothing kicked the crap out of WrestleMania.
Sure did,
and it sure did. WrestleMania had 3 matches, and I mean, listen, The Fiend versus John Cena was technically a match, but that was a storyline. That was a storyline.
That was a storyline.
Yeah, it was a storyline.
I saw Bray Wyatt do the pin for The Fiend. It was a match. It was a match, but it was a storyline. So WrestleMania had 3 good matches, opposed to Double or Nothing. The entire card was. Let's be real. AEW hasn't put a horrible show. There's not one show I can say, damn, this shit was whack.
Yeah,
this shit was garbage. Not one. They've had something to give me in every episode they've had, and they haven't had a corny or a lackluster pay-per-view at all.
Yeah, at all. They've been the most consistent that for me.
This is probably the first pay-per-view All Out that I'm actually is the card strong?
I'm not as excited. This is the least excited I've ever been for an AEW pay-per-view. I can say that.
Yeah, me too.
So, But I mean, it's still going to be a good card, but it's just like it's like match after match after match after match. This one is kind of, I'm excited to see.
They got the gimmick match with Jericho and Orange Cassidy,
Which I think is going to be good, but it's a gimmick match.
Mimosa.
The Mimosa Madness,
Yeah.
I think the Madness Mimosa match or something like that, some craziness,
Mimosa
some craziness
match.
But yeah, also Tony Khan said in this conference that post All Out, the FTW championship, he has like big plans for the FTW championship. Like he's not gonna Brian Cage is not gonna defend it like the traditional championships, like the TNT or like the AEW championship. So I'm interested to see how that's gonna turn out, because he holds that championship and it really hasn't done anything. So I'm interested to see where it goes.
But it's only been about a month.
Yeah,
a month that he has it.
So. Yeah, so. I'm interested to see. Like AEW definitely has my full trust. So I'm gonna see how that plays out. Are there any matches for All Out that you're really, really looking forward to?
I want to see the outcome of the Hangman Page storyline and Kenny. That's probably the one I'm most excited for. Obviously, I want to see what's gonna happen with the AEW Championship.
Yeah.
I know MJF is not gonna win. I don't think he's gonna win.
He might.
I think they're gonna hold Mox over until probably Double or Nothing or Revolution at this point.
Yeah.
You know what? He might lose it. Damn.
He might lose something. I'm saying.
Think about it. What Full Gear? What? Full Gear's next?
Full Gear will be next. Yeah. But Full Gear is not until
like November.
Yeah.
And then Revolution is like January.
Yeah, Revolution next year. Yeah. So they only after All Out, there's only one more pay-per-view for the year.
Yeah, because they do AEW only does
quarters.
Yeah, quarters. Wow.
Which makes so much more sense. Which whatever, that's one other conversation. But it makes so much more sense because when they come up, it's a big. Their pay-per-views are a big deal. It's a big deal because new storylines about to start. New champions, it's like a new season almost. You know what I'm saying? Like everything starts over. I think the match I'm most looking forward to for All Out, obviously the FTR versus Kenny. But I think besides that, besides the obvious, I really want to see what's going to happen with the Young Bucks and Jurassic. I mean, I know the Young Bucks are going to win, but are the Young Bucks going to come out and interfere? Are they going to play a part in the FTR Hangman Omega? I feel like they are because what Hangman did a couple of weeks ago in Dynamite. So those storylines are still intertwined. So I'm interested to see how they play a part in it. But I honestly do think Hangman and Kenny's time is up tonight. I do think the time is up tonight.
Yeah, I think it's good time too because I did like the tag team for the most part. I did like the storylines that they had so far, but what was the real purpose of even putting them together? It was kind of weird that
I think it was to get Hangman over. I think it was really to get Hangman over. Like I think he kind of because think about it, after he lost to Jericho, he hit a little bit of a dud. But when he came back with Kenny, he started drinking, and it was like, oh shit, Hangman is the man. Like Hangman is the most one of the most dynamic characters in all of wrestling. So I think it was to get him over. But it got him over even more than they thought it was going to get him over. So, at this point, like you said, I think this is, kind of the perfect time to split them because you kind of want to see them maybe do their own thing. For Kenny, I want to see him go after the World Heavyweight Championship. I want to see him do his own thing. So, now it's probably, storyline-wise, it kind of seems like they've crescendoed. It's like they've been, they're the longest reigning champions in AEW history.
I think they're ready to push the Horseman story.
Yeah.
They're ready to push the cleaner.
Yeah.
As far as Kenny goes. I think Kenny personally wants a little bit more edge.
Yeah.
I think ever since the big criticism has been coming out as far as, Kenny's getting squashed or
because it's been DDT kind of Kenny. He's been doing more comedy stuff.
Kenny, that was actually the comparison they were saying.
Yeah.
So
which was the Young Bucks said that funny on an offhand comment, on BTE, they said that one time, like, yeah, you're not doing the Okada,
Yeah.
7-star matches anymore. It was like DDT Kenny kind of looked at them like, all right.
I'm about to V-trigger this whole room.
Word, like, I heard you. I heard you. I heard you.
So All Out's tonight. We'll probably have we'll have a review on All Out either tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah.
So look forward to that. But yeah, I gotta give it to Hangman Omega for the standout match. You know what? For the women, I'm actually looking forward to the Thunder Rosa versus Sheeta. It's title.
Yes.
So NWA, we could probably say NWA is officially a part of AEW.
I want to see. I'm looking for Nick Aldis.
I'm actually hoping that Thunder Rosa wins.
Yeah, I think the women's division needs Thunder Rosa to win because she'll be like not like an outlaw, but it's like, oh shit, she came over from NWA. NWA is not running right now, so it's not like she's gonna go back to the NWA and face people from the NWA. She would have to have all her matches on AEW, so maybe there might be some more women from NWA to come over to AEW.
I would love to see Melina in AEW, and she was in NWA recently.
I want to see some. They have Marty Bell over there. There's a lot of people they can bring over from the NWA. I feel like the women's division in AEW needs this shot in the arm. This would definitely be a shot in the arm.
They've been making strides to make the women's division stronger too. Shouts out to
Britt Baker and
Britt
Baker and now they're gonna have a cinematic match. There's the first women's cinematic match in AEW.
The tooth and nail match.
Yeah, I think is this their first cinematic match ever?
I think so. It's gonna be in her dentist's office or something like that.
That's dope. That's dope. I mean, they lean so much on the gimmick that she's a dentist. It kind of makes sense. It's something different that the woman done. I think they're gonna open up the show with the WCU. So the WCU is officially in the wrestling cinematic universe.
It's officially canon for everybody, I guess.
Yeah, because they've been doing it.
So shouts out to Ivelisse, who had a good match on Dynamite as well. I'm glad that they actually stick it to her and Diamante as a tag team, and hopefully there's a push for women's tag team titles. But in order to get there, they're gonna strengthen their division.
Yeah, you gotta build it more.
So
maybe another year.
There, I'm hoping that Thunder Rosa could help bridge that gap, because Sheeta's great. People love Sheeta, but the lack of mic skills and the lack of promo segments is hurting the women's division, because we had it with Britt Baker, but her being injured kind of took her away from capitalizing on the matches and her conclusion. So her and Swole having their match at All Out, that's finally gonna conclude things. But I think they needed it because she's still injured.
Yeah. This is their big comeback. So yeah, we're gonna see. This is I mentioned they're doing strides with their women. The thing is, like, they know the women division is kind of like their weak point, their Achilles heel to say, but they work on it. You know what I'm saying? Like they work on it.
AEW does tend to listen a lot and to the criticism and make strides to change it. Look at the Dark Order. We were definitely hard on the Dark Order. A lot of the fans were hard on the Dark Order, and within a couple of months, Dark Order's the top segment in BTE. Brody Lee is their
Mr. Brody Lee. Mr. Brody Lee. You know what?
They're definitely listeners.
Yeah, I mean, they turned it around. I mean, like they said with the Dark Order, but yeah. I guess should we move on to the SmackDown?
Let's move it on to the SmackDowns.
Move on to the SmackDown opened up with Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns, and let me say, this is the Roman Reigns, for me personally, the Roman Reigns that we always wanted. He's a badass. He says very few words. What he says is very effective. Paul Heyman's his mouthpiece is his special. What is it? What did they say? His special counsel. I feel like they should have just stuck to the whole advocate thing. I don't understand what the hell a special counsel is. Whatever.
It's
But
basically the advocate.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He should just be Roman Reigns' advocate, just like he's Brock Lesnar's advocate.
But that's the thing. They're trying to differentiate him and Brock as well. So I understand why they did that.
Yeah, I guess.
You don't want it to be like, oh, he's just doing the same exact thing he's going to do for Brock, which is probably exactly what he's going to do.
He's people's bloody advocates. That's what he advocates for you. That's what he does. But you're right. It kind of does give a differentiation. But whatever. Roman Reigns is a badass. His beard is a badass. His T-shirt's a badass. The way he handles himself now is just. This is, for me personally, this is the Roman Reigns I've always wanted. They're about a year and a half bit late for it, but
Year and a half. They're
whatever.
Late.
Whatever. We're here now. They can control. They're literally. It's ironic that they're doing this when they can literally control the response because they're in the Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Oh, WWE.
Think about that.
This is the most WWE thing they can do. Really, if you really think about it. They bring him back, immediately make him heel because they can control the response. Like it's really the most WWE thing they can do. But whatever. I'm here for it.
A factory, man.
And I said earlier that WWE has gained some of my trust, and this is what I was referring to because I feel like the way they've handled Roman Reigns has been perfect. He came in halfway through, not even halfway. He came in when 75% of the match was done with The Fiend and Braun Strowman. He wrecked everybody. He left. He literally did what his shirt says. He's a cocky heel. He's a star because you made him the star, whether you liked it or not.
And they said I like what they said in this promo. A Fiend is not supposed to be a champion.
He's not.
A monster is not supposed to be a champion. Roman Reigns is the champion that never lost his title. Like he's the real champion. So I like that they're going with it. What I didn't like was how they looped in his cousin later on in the night.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Because this might be a big swerve, or they could. I don't know. They could. We shall see. But what else? Oh yeah. So, unfortunately, one of my favorite storylines has been going on. Not even just in WWE. I'd say in all of wrestling. Sasha and Bayley has finally come to not an end, but I would say
finally did the split up that we've been all expecting.
Yes, but it was so anticlimactic the way they did it. I feel like WWE, they should have taken a page out of their own past with how they kind of did. Not how they did it though, but like remember the build up for the Festival of Friendships with Jericho and Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
How that big end, and then when KO finally turned on Jericho, even though we seen it coming. When he finally turned on Jericho, or when MJF finally turned on Cody, it was like, oh my gosh. Like, even though you've seen it coming, it was just like, damn, he finally did it. It was building towards that. It was really building towards it, but the way they executed it.
I thought it was going to be the reverse. I thought it was going to be Sasha doing it to Bayley.
To me, it made sense for Bayley to do it to Sasha because Bayley still had the championships, and it was kind of like a jealousy thing. Like, it was kind of like a paranoia thing, like,
yeah.
She's eventually. I feel like they should have played on to that aspect more.
But Sasha was already giving her those looks, like you're the only one with a title, and now I have to look at you. I have to watch.
But what I will give WWE credit to was earlier that night, Sasha really played up like, yo, this is my best friend. She's the best women's championship. She's the best women's champion out there. This is my best friend. We're going to get our championship belts back. I look up to her. She's a role model. And then, boom. I feel like WWE, where they could have executed it better was, so the way they ended the match was Nia Jax did a crossbody to both Bayley and Sasha and flattened them both and then won. I feel like instead WWE should have done it where, Sasha was trying to get the hot tag, trying to get the tag. You know what I'm saying? Because her knee was getting worked over. You work up that babyface sympathy for Sasha. Then, you know what I'm saying, right before she gets the tag, Nia drags her out, hits Bayley, and then finally just defeats Sasha. You know what I'm saying? So you feel bad for Sasha. And then, Bailey comes, helps her up, and then you do it. You know what I'm saying? They kind of did it like that, but it was just, if I'm not sure if you've seen it, but it was just so anticlimactic the way they did it. Like, she was helping her, and then out of nowhere, it was just like you just got to see it. Like, if you see it, it will make more sense. Like, it was just for all that storyline that they gave Sasha and Bailey, the way they executed at the
only
end
way
was
I
just
think they
kind of flat.
redeem themselves in this storyline is if they keep Sasha out. I don't
They
think
have to. They have to.
I don't think they should bring her back for Clash of Champions. And
No,
if
they
you
shouldn't.
bring her back for Clash of Champions, don't bring her back until Clash of Champions. Because you did the whole chair around the neck stomp thing.
Yeah, she beat her ass. I give it that. Bailey beat Sasha's ass. She beat that girl down. But yeah, you're right. We should have seen Sasha for a long time.
And I don't think Clash of Champions is the pay-per-view that we deserve for this match. Like, they should have dragged this shit out to at least the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, or Survivor Series.
Or Survivor, but no, because the Survivor Series is usually brand versus brand now. So it would be, women's champions of all brands against each other.
Yeah.
This needs to be a Royal Rumble, a lead into Mania, or a Mania match. These two deserve it.
At the rate they've been telling this story, I feel like it would have ran out of gas realistically around like Royal Rumble. It would have been like, all right, guys, we know where this is heading. I feel like it would have run out of gas. But I feel like they definitely could have extended this story. Like they're like, if Bailey didn't turn on Sasha tonight, nobody would have thought twice about that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody would have thought anything different if they would have just lost that championship. Like, I feel like they definitely could have. Like, Survivor Series would have, like, one of the big four or one of the big five. Like, it needed to go there. Like you said, Clash of Champions is not a worthy enough platform for this story that you've been beautifully telling for months for it to climax at. Maybe it won't climax at Clash of Champions, but knowing WWE, it probably will climax there. They'll have their match, but it shouldn't. It really shouldn't.
Because let's be real, who else on SmackDown right now is even a contender?
Nobody.
This title.
Nobody I can think of.
Sasha Banks.
They need to build Naomi up. Naomi can be a contender, but they need to build Naomi up for the back end of this feud.
I don't want to see this Naomi. I don't want to see this glowy, neon, happy-go-lucky. I don't want to see it.
They might be building. Oh, they might be. I don't mean to cut you off. They might be building Alexa Bliss back up because you notice Alexa Bliss is back with the pigtails, and she had the encounter with the Fiend. But at the same time, Alexa Bliss is intertwined with Nikki Cross. They got to have their own feud. So that's like that. They got to let that play out. So there's nobody. And I agree with you. If Naomi's going to be a contender, even if they don't drop the cold glow, she needs more of an edge. Like, I don't mind her having the glow, but it needs to be an edge. It needs to be an edge about her.
You know what? Speaking of Naomi and that exact thought, let's segue back to Roman Reigns and his cousin and why I said that. I didn't really like the interaction. We had Uso come back. We had Jey Uso come back.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what's going on with Jimmy.
He's injured.
They meet up in the hallway or whatever, and pretty much Jey got inserted into the main event, the number one contendership. He ends up winning against Matt Riddle. Who else was it? King Corbin.
Baron Corbin and
one person.
I forgot.
Yeah, I forget. Yeah. I think it was a triple threat actually.
Yeah, it ended up being a triple threat. Yeah, it was supposed to be a four-way because Sheamus took out Big E in the beginning of the night, and Big E was supposed to be in there, which I'm glad he did because hold Big E out of that universe.
That's how Jey got in the match.
Yeah, that's how he got in the match.
That's how Jey got in the match. Sheamus took out Big E, so it was a triple threat. Which I like how they're building Big E so far.
Yes. Keep him out of that title picture just for now. Keep him out of there now.
But when Jey ends up winning, they meet up. They see each other backstage, and he tells Jay, I would have been more concerned if it was your brother. Like, you shitted on him. Like, why even have Jay in this match for
The
the
Roman,
contendership when you could have had him join his cousin? Eventually, his brother could join them. We could bring in Naomi, give her that edge for a women's title run, give them all that badass Paul Heyman rub, that badass Roman Reigns rub. You know, we're enjoying Roman Reigns right now, his character and the way they're developing his heel. What better than a badass stable and his family, the bloodline? You're gonna bring him in. I hope they're not bringing Jay into the storyline to say, "Oh, look how evil Roman Reigns is. He attacked his own cousin." No, if anything, the storyline should go, "Yeah, because we just won this title, this title defense. Now you don't got to worry about a defense at Clash Champions. Bring a true contender into the mix. Roman has to defend against whoever it is. Jimmy comes back at Clash, helps Roman win. You
yeah,
got the stable back. Naomi's the wife of Jimmy. Bring her into the mix. You guys can have a badass stable. Like, maybe I'm
should.
acting too much because we're finally getting a Roman heel run period. But I think that's the direction they should go, especially since they inserted Jay Uso. They should have never inserted him just to use him as a folly for Roman Reigns.
Now that would be fire. That would be fire to do that because and then you have somebody like Big E who's climbed up the ranks. You got somebody for Big E to fire. I'm glad they took him out of the title picture. Like he's around the title picture, but like because he was going to be in that
Well,
four-way match.
he still has a bit to climb. Him and Sheamus are clawing for that next
Yeah,
push to get into the talk of it. Because
yeah.
I think Braun Strowman and the
I
Fiend.
think Fiend is in there. I don't want Braun Strowman to be. I hope Braun. I mean, like they can still be in the title talk, but I feel like you said, like with Sheamus and like Big E, like they're gonna get in that. They're gonna get in that conversation. But I feel like Big E, like keep him away. Keep him and Roman separate for right. Keep the. Cause I feel like that's a big money match that you can do. That's like a Royal Rumble.
I think
Survivor. Like, that's a big match.
overall SmackDown is doing better.
Roman turned heel, hell yeah.
Roman turned heel is definitely a good plus. Their ratings boosted soon as Roman came back. So
the
that's
Intercontinental the Intercontinental title match is the Intercontinental title picture is doing good. Jeff Hardy's the champion, but Sami Zayn never lost the belt, so Sami Zayn is back now. You got AJ Styles, so we might get an AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, you know what I'm saying, Sami Zayn match. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope.
Honestly, I think Sami Zayn should come out on top.
He should. He should.
He has yet to prove himself as IC champion, and technically, he is the real IC champion.
He is. He is.
Like, what are we gonna get out of a Jeff Hardy reign? Let's be honest.
We don't need it.
Jeff Hardy, honestly, has Jeff Hardy had a great championship singles reign where you can say his rivalry stood out? The only time I could think of ever was him versus CM Punk. And we're talking about a 3-time world champion. We're talking about, I think, what was it, like a 6-time, 7-time Intercontinental champion, European champion. Like, he's been around, hardcore champion, tag team champion. Like, his reigns are not really memorable.
Yeah. Well, Sami Zayn's a true Intercontinental champion, really. And you got AJ Styles in the mix, so, you know, Uncle Allen is always good money.
Uncle Allen will probably be the snake and take it from both of them.
Probably. Or he might get written off SmackDown and end up in NXT with Finn. Which I'm kind of pushing for, honestly. Yeah.
Oh my God, WWE has so many opportunities to make storylines great, and they drop the ball so much is ridiculous. But yeah, the spinning place as far as the women go, Alexa Bliss, I'm still looking forward to that. I think she's still tied to the Fiend. I'm looking forward to that.
So there was a segment where her and Nikki was talking. She has the pigtails back, and you see the rambling rabbit in the background. So she still is tied to the Fiend.
Okay.
So she's about to turn back heel, and you know, once she turns back heel, she's immediately a contender for Bayley.
I think at that point that'd be the only person that makes sense besides her and maybe a Nikki Cross once she gets through this Alexa Bliss situation. That'd be the best probably two contenders to hold off a Sasha Bailey feud.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's the route. But that was SmackDown for the most part. I think it was a good show. Overall, all episodes I think did fairly well. They all had good parts that stood out for the week. And, it's All Out weekend. Tonight is All Out. So we're looking forward to that. And we'll, like I said earlier, we'll have a review for All Out either right after the show or tomorrow as soon as possible. So look, you can look forward to that. But we can do this all day.
We can do this all day. AJ, where can I find you at?
They can find me at Kayfabe_AJ on Instagram.
You can find me at The Richie Moon Show on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all podcasts. You can find me at Kayfabe Avenue on the Instagram. Come join and debate with us on our Facebook page at Kayfabe Avenue on Facebook. On all major podcasts, you can find us Kayfabe Avenue.
Like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
The visual editions of our podcast are on the YouTube, so go check that out.
Indeed. So, with that being said, I have been Mr. Richie Moon. That has been Kayfabe AJ. This has been This Week in Wrestling. All Out weekend tonight. We'll be back for the review tomorrow. With that being said, Kenny, take us home.
Goodbye. And good night, bad.